Hello friends, we are going to talk about the charging and discharging of capacitor in an RC circuit. Here is a circuit diagram which shows you how the capacitor is being charged. We have a power supply connected in series with a resistance and a capacitor. When we switch on the circuit at time t is equal to 0, the charge on the capacitor is 0, the voltage on the capacitor is 0, and as soon as you connect the power supply, the capacitor will start charging and the charging current I charge will flow into the circuit. The upper plate of the capacitor will be positively charged, the lower plate will be negatively charged, and as time passes, the charge will build up and the voltage will also build up. So this is the first part of the experiment. In the next part, what we will do, we will remove the power supply and short circuit it, and at t is equal to 0, we will start the discharge process of the capacitor, and you find that the discharge current flows through the resistance and the capacitor will discharge, and slowly the charges on the capacitor will be diminished, they will be reduced, and therefore the voltage will be also reduced. So let us start by connecting the power supply to the board. The positive of the power supply is connected to the positive. The negative we will connect with the negative. We are not going to measure the current during the experiment, and therefore we will need to short circuit the place where we connect the current meter. So that is done, and then we have to connect the voltmeter across the capacitor. So that is how you connect the voltmeter across the capacitor. So we will measure the time and the voltage simultaneously and proceed with the experiment. We have to set 0 for the time and the voltage so that the capacitor has got no initial charge. Now we will start the timer and the power supply simultaneously. So that is what we have done, and the capacitor will start charging. So you see the capacitor charging slowly. The voltage across the capacitor increases as time passes. The capacitor is getting charged. We will take the reading for every 30 seconds. So when we get 30 seconds, we have to take the reading. So here is the 30-second first reading, 6.7 volts. We have used a very large value of capacitor and resistance in the circuit because we want that the charging time of the circuit should be quite large. The total charging time of the capacitor is tuned to 9 minutes. We will do the experiment up to 6 minutes and then we will discharge. The next 30 seconds and the value is 11.8. The capacitor value is 3300 microfarads. This is a fairly large value. The size of the capacitor is also very large, and the value of resistance is 33 kilo ohms. So 3300 microfarads and 33 kilo ohms resistance and capacitance is used in this circuit. The next reading is 15.8. Now from the theory we know that the RC time constant is given by the product of R and C. So when you multiply these two numbers, then you will get a value, and that is the time required to charge the capacitor to 63% of the applied voltage value. So the next reading over here is 18.9. So if I take the product of R and C, then the value is around 109 seconds. And then if you take 5 times RC and divide it by 60 seconds, then the figure which comes out is 9 minutes. So as I told you, it requires 9 minutes to charge the capacitor. The next reading is 21.1. We have purposefully kept the value of R and C very large because we can see how the capacitor is charged and discharged in this circuit. But you can always use the RC value of your choice and tune the charging and discharging time accordingly. The next reading will be 22.9. You can suppose if we use 0.1 microfarad capacitor and a 10 kilo ohm resistance, then you will find that the time constant will be around 1 millisecond. If I use 1 kilo ohm resistance, then it will be around 0.1 millisecond. So the RC constant of the circuit can be chosen by selecting proper values of R and C. The next reading, which is seen over here, is 24.4. If we study the variation of current with time, then you find that initially when t is 0, the capacitor has no charge. All the applied voltage drops across the resistance, and therefore there will be a large current in the resistance. As soon as the capacitor starts charging, the voltage drop across the resistance reduces, and therefore the current will also reduce. The next reading is 25.5. So in the case of charging of a capacitor, you find that the voltage will increase from 0 to the maximum value, and in case of the current, you find that the current is reducing. First of all, initially it will give a spike of current, and then it will start reducing slowly, and you will get the current which is going to be 0 at the end. The next reading is 26.4. So the voltage axis, on the voltage axis, if you see the graph, it is an increasing voltage from 0 to maximum value, while in case of the current axis for charging, you find that the initial current is very large, and as soon as you find that the time is passing, the current will go on reducing and the current will be 0 at the end. The next reading is 27.1. As you can see on the screen, I have shown a graph which is charging of the capacitor and the voltage and current during the charging process. You find that the voltage is increasing and the current is reducing. You can also see that the nature of the curve is exponential. The next reading over here is 27.7. This exponential nature also reflects in the equation of charging of the capacitor. So the charging of the capacitor through a resistance is an exponential graph. Similarly, we will see that during the discharging of the capacitor, the curves are exponential in nature. So the last reading which we are going to take is 28.1. Now we can stop the clock, and we have removed the power supply from the circuit, and now I am starting the discharge process. So now the discharge process has started. The current will flow in a reverse direction as compared to the charging of the circuit, and you find that the discharging of the capacitor 3300 microfarads capacitor through a 330 kilo ohm resistance is being done in this circuit. So the next reading in discharging is 21.5. The discharging process takes place. Now you find that the energy in the circuit is provided by the capacitor. The capacitor acts as a source of energy in the circuit and puts up some current in the circuit. So this is a discharging of capacitor. So in the first part we saw the charging where the capacitor accumulated energy, and now it is discharging. The next reading is 16.7. So the capacitor discharges through the resistance. If you put down some load in the circuit, then the capacitor will discharge through the load. Say for example, if you connect a LED in the circuit, then the capacitor will discharge through the LED, and if it is forward bias, then it will glow. So the capacitor acts as a source of energy in the circuit. The next reading is 13.1. This means that when the capacitor is charged, the capacitor stores energy inside, and when you remove the supply and connect the load across the capacitor will discharge into the load, supplying the energy which it has stored back to the circuit. So this type of characteristic of capacitor is very useful for many applications which we will discuss. 10.2 is the next reading. So this particular property of capacitor allows it to be used as a filter capacitor in the power supply, because when the diodes are on, the capacitor will charge, and when the rectifying diodes are off, then the capacitor will discharge into the load and provide the energy to the circuit. The next reading is 8.0, and now if you just try to recollect, then every day in the morning you charge your mobile, and then throughout the day the battery of your mobile will discharge and run your mobile or give the power to the mobile. So this is exactly what the capacitor also does. But you can tune the values with the help of RC constant. The next reading is 6.2. A lot of research nowadays is going on in an area where people want to use the capacitors instead of the electrochemical cell in your mobile battery. At present in the mobile we are using the lithium ion battery, which are charged by the chargers, and they provide the power to the mobile throughout the day. The next reading is 4.9. So a lot of research is going on in this area. People want to replace the electrochemical cell with the capacitor banks. The advantage being that the capacitors can charge very fast if the series resistance which we have used can be reduced drastically. So fast charging is possible with capacitor battery banks. The next reading is 3.8. So you find that the capacitors are very useful in various circuits. They are also useful in oscillation circuits, where when we want to create an oscillator, then we will use the RC as the timekeeping in the oscillator circuit. So that is also one area where the capacitor is being used. The next reading is 3.0. The nature of capacitor voltage during the discharge process is reverse to that of the charging process. In the charging process, it started from 0 and it went up to the maximum, while in discharging process it will discharge from the maximum value to the 0 value, and therefore you will find that the discharge voltage and discharge current, they follow the same nature of graph. The next value is 2.3 volts, and now we will stop this discharge process over here. We have got adequate readings, and now with this set of readings we are ready to plot the graph. We have seen the charging and discharging of the capacitor using this circuit, and now we remove the cables, remove the meter also, put aside the clock and the meter. We have talked about the charging and discharging of capacitor. The power supply which we connected, that was 30 volts, that charged the capacitors through the 3 kilo ohms resistance. Now I am going to show you the capacitor from a near. You can see that the capacitor is a polar capacitor, meaning that it has got a negative and a positive terminal. So the capacitor will be charged through this RC circuit. So now we are going to plot the graph of charging of the capacitor. So here I have tabulated the reading. In one column we have got the time. Every 30 seconds we have taken the reading, and in the other column we have the voltage which we have recorded. So now to plot the graph, what you have to do is select both these columns, and then you go to the insert tab. In the charts you go to this scatter tab, select this second option, and you will get a graph over here. We will resize it to our requirement, so that fills up the screen. We can select whatever nature of the graph which we want to take, whatever design we want to select. I will select a black design suppose, and then I can write the chart title. So we have to select it. Charging of capacitor. Now you can do everything with this font. You can increase the size and reduce the size and whatever you want to do. You can change the font also. Let us say we will take Times Roman. You can make it italic. You can color it on black. Suppose I take this color, and you find it that it is very good. Now you can select the axis. On the x-axis we will write down, what is this x-axis? It is time. So we will write down time. Again select it, make it times font, make it 18, give it an italic and the color. Fine. Similarly on the y-axis we have got voltage, so I will name it as voltage. Let me first select it, VOLTAGE, voltage. Select the whole text, convert it to what you want. Color the font, and I think we are done with the graph. So you can see it is a very nice exponential curve which we have got with the readings which we have taken. You also find that this line, the 30 volt line which we have applied, it is going to be asymptotic with this curve because they will never meet. Some charge can always be put on the capacitor. So this is the charging of the capacitor. Similarly, you can note down the readings for the discharging of the capacitor and make a plot on your own. So that brings us to the end of this experiment. Thank you very much.